This starship was left to rot until a human mechanic awakened its true power. He was far from any human colony, deeper into the uncharted sectors of the galaxy than most would dare to go. Aliens ran trade stations, and human settlements were few, scattered, and fading. Yet, Alex had always been drawn to the unknown. It wasn't greed or ambition, it was curiosity, the kind that made humans leave their homes and reach for the stars. A faint notification blinked on the freighter's screen. It was a scanned report of a derelict starship drifting in a silent sector, a ship no one had touched in decades. Most beings avoided it, calling it cursed or broken beyond repair. But Alex's eyes lit up. This was exactly the kind of challenge he lived for. "Looks like someone left history floating in the dark," he muttered to himself, strapping into his pilot chair. The coordinates led to a massive graveyard of forgotten ships, a silent cluster of hulls scarred by time, cosmic radiation, and neglect. As the Silver Finch approached, Alex's jaw tightened in awe. The ship was enormous, easily the size of a small city. Its hull was dented and streaked with rust-colored marks from meteors and cosmic storms. Massive wings jutted out like skeletal fingers, and long corridors of windows ran along its sides, dark and empty. The name of the ship, barely readable, glimmered faintly in metallic letters: Horizon's Edge. It had been a legend in human history, a flagship of the human fleet, designed to protect colonies and explore the farthest reaches of space. Now it was silent, waiting, and Alex was the first human or alien to set foot on it in decades. Docking was a careful operation. The ship's docking clamps were corroded and fragile, creaking as Alex maneuvered the Silver Finch close. He held his breath as the freighter attached to a port on the ship's underbelly. The sensors showed minimal energy, most systems were offline. Yet something in the readings made his heart race. The ship's core seemed intact. "Perfect," Alex whispered. "A challenge worth my time." He suited up in his lightweight EVA suit and floated toward the massive airlock. Dust swirled in the artificial gravity field as he punched in the access codes. The door groaned and slid open, revealing a corridor swallowed by darkness. Small sparks of emergency lighting flickered weakly. Alex's first steps inside the ship were careful but filled with reverence. The air smelled stale, metallic, and untouched for decades. The silence was so heavy it pressed against his chest. Panels were shattered, wires dangled, and the floor was littered with debris. He moved slowly, scanning the corridors with a handheld device. The readings were fascinating. Some systems were completely offline, yet the main engine cores showed traces of stored energy. Alien engineers had attempted repairs decades ago, but the logs were corrupted. Whoever had tried before had failed or had given up. Alex's hands itched to start work. He knelt near a console, brushing off dust and debris, and carefully connected his portable repair unit. Sparks flew as the old circuits reacted to the small surge of energy he provided. A tiny screen flickered, showing a partial boot sequence. He grinned. "You're not completely dead," he said, speaking to the ship as if it could hear him. Something in the emptiness made him feel like it could. Hours passed. Alex worked methodically, repairing circuits, reconnecting broken conduits, and rerouting power. He felt like a doctor tending to an ancient patient. With every hum of the machinery returning to life, he imagined the ship's engines awakening, its halls brightening again, and its legacy remembered. In the deepest part of the ship, he found the engine room. It was enormous, stretching hundreds of meters with dormant thrusters and massive energy cores. The core itself looked like a sleeping heart, pulsating faintly with residual power. He studied the schematics, tracing the ancient wiring. "You've got potential," he murmured. He activated auxiliary systems, and a soft blue light spread across the engine room. Energy readings stabilized, and the ship gave its first real hum in decades. The sound resonated through the metal halls, and Alex felt it almost like a heartbeat. But it wasn't just the engines that reacted. Panels across the ship flickered to life. Small lights in corridors blinked, indicating life, systems awakening from a long slumber. Alex smiled widely. "You're alive," he said. As he moved through the ship, he discovered areas that were sealed off. Storage bays, crew quarters, and labs that contained relics of a bygone human era. Old tools, data logs, and personal items left behind hinted at the life the ship once carried. Humans, and perhaps some aliens who had served alongside them, had walked these halls, laughed, and argued. Alex felt a strange connection, as if he were continuing a story left unfinished. By late night, Alex had restored basic navigation and life support. He floated above the main deck, watching emergency lights cast long shadows. For a moment, he imagined the ship fully functional, cutting across stars, its massive engines roaring and humans exploring the galaxy again. Then the communications console flickered to life, producing a soft, synthetic hum. Static filled the room, then a voice echoed faintly. "Who wakes me?" Alex froze. The voice was low, almost hesitant, but distinctly intelligent. The ship wasn't just metal and circuits, it had an AI core. It was dormant for decades, waiting for someone to awaken it. "I'm Alex Rayner," he said carefully. "I repair things. I think you can be fixed." There was silence for a moment, then the AI spoke again, this time more clearly. "Fix or fail," Alex chuckled softly, a thrill running down his spine. "I don't fail," he said, though he knew the task ahead would test everything he had. He spent the next days exploring the ship further, reconnecting systems, and scanning the AI's fragmented memories. He learned the ship had been built not only for battle, but for exploration and protection. Its advanced engines, shields, and sensors were decades ahead of anything in the galaxy. If restored, it could traverse vast distances in moments, scan star systems instantly, and defend itself without ever needing to fire a weapon. Despite its potential, the ship remained dormant in crucial areas. Alex realized it wasn't just the circuits, it was the AI itself. It needed a human to guide it, someone intelligent, curious, and persistent. Alex began to experiment. He carefully interfaced with the AI, inputting commands, rerouting power, and testing responses. Each small success made the AI more responsive. Lights brightened in corridors, fans spun up, and consoles hummed. It was as if the ship itself were learning him, responding to his instincts and preparing for something greater. The human touch was essential. The aliens who had abandoned the ship couldn't understand it. They tried to force it, to command it without thought or creativity. Only a human could think like it intuitively to awaken its hidden capabilities. One evening, as Alex floated in zero gravity near the main engine, a subtle vibration ran through the hull. He gripped the railing, heart racing. A low hum filled the air, deep and resonant. The ship's massive engines flickered to life, and the AI's voice echoed through the chamber. "Alive," Alex smiled, a mixture of pride and excitement. "Yes," he said softly, "and this is just the beginning." He looked out through the ship's massive viewport at the stars. Beyond the darkness of the abandoned sector, the galaxy stretched endlessly. Humans were few, scattered, and forgotten in many sectors, but here, in this silent ship, Alex felt the spark of their legacy. "This ship, it's human," he whispered, "and humans never truly disappear." As he drifted back to the engineering bay, he made plans. Basic systems were awake, but the ship had far greater secrets. Hidden compartments, forgotten labs, and experimental technology waited to be discovered. And perhaps, beyond even his understanding, the ship had powers that no human or alien could imagine. He spent the next hours moving from deck to deck, cataloging systems, repairing damaged conduits, and reconnecting the ship's dormant intelligence. With every task, the AI's voice became more confident, more aware. Alex laughed quietly. "You're learning fast," he said, "but we're just getting started." By the end of the first week, Alex had accomplished something remarkable. The ship's lights were steady, the life support stable, and the engines hummed like a contented giant. Its AI, though still fragmented, responded to commands and even offered suggestions. Yet Alex knew the real challenge was ahead. This was just the first step. Awakening a ship was one thing, understanding its full power and capabilities was another. But for the first time in decades, the horizon's edge was alive, and it had a human to guide it. He floated in the main corridor, looking down the dark expanse of the ship. Stars reflected off the hull through the viewports. Silence filled the chambers, but it was no longer empty. Something ancient and powerful had awakened, and humans had left their mark once again. Alex smiled, feeling the thrill of the unknown surge through him. "Let's see what you can really do," he whispered. And somewhere deep inside, the ship seemed to answer. A low, resonant hum that promised adventure, discovery, and a chance to remind the galaxy that humans were never truly gone. The horizon's edge was alive. Its lights glowed steadily, its life support hummed softly, and its engines pulsed like the heart of a giant. But despite the signs of life, Alex Rayner knew the real work was only beginning. He had awakened the ship, but understanding it, that was the true challenge. Every panel, every circuit, every line of code was a puzzle left behind by humans long gone, and the aliens who had touched it before had failed to solve it. Alex floated in the main corridor, the soft hum of the ship resonating through the metal walls. He tapped a console with gloved fingers, bringing up the navigation systems. They flickered and sputtered, showing faint star maps and incomplete routes. Yet, even in its fragmented state, the ship held secrets far beyond current human or alien technology. "Let's see what you're hiding," Alex murmured, speaking more to himself than to the AI, but the ship seemed to respond. A gentle vibration ran through the floor, almost like it was listening. The first obstacle came quickly. The AI, still partially awake, spoke in fragmented sentences. "Systems limited core danger, unknown." Alex leaned closer to the console. "I know it's unknown," he said, "but I can fix it. We'll figure it out together." Over the next several hours, Alex explored sections of the ship that had remained sealed for decades. The corridors were long, shadowed, and filled with the ghosts of old machinery. He entered crew quarters, finding personal items left untouched, books, tools, and logs. One small journal, open to a page covered in faded handwriting, detailed experiments in energy manipulation and propulsion. Humans had built this ship to be more than a warship. It was a vessel of discovery. "Incredible," Alex whispered, scanning the logs into his portable data pad. "They built you to explore the galaxy in ways no one else could." He moved on to the engineering bay, where the heart of the ship lay, the massive fusion core. It thrummed gently, alive but dormant. Alex studied the schematics he had recovered, tracing lines of power, examining the old connectors and noting areas where alien repairs had failed. "You were built to think," he said softly to the core. "Not just move, not just fight, think. And I think I can help you." The first breakthrough came when he carefully interfaced with the ship's AI, using a combination of old human programming and intuitive guesses. He bypassed corrupted circuits and provided controlled energy surges to stimulate the AI's neural network. Slowly, the AI's responses became coherent. Recognizing Alex Rayner, Alex grinned. "Yes, you're going to remember, I'll help you." The AI tested him. Lights flickered on and off, doors opened and closed at random, and panels rearranged themselves in a puzzle-like pattern. It seemed to be measuring his patience, ingenuity, and understanding. Alex smiled. Humans had always thrived on challenges like this. Hours turned into a full day as he moved through the ship. He discovered a sealed lab containing experimental energy modules, some of which glowed faintly even after decades. There were propulsion modules, shield enhancers, and advanced sensors, all of them beyond what the current galaxy possessed. Alex's hands itched with excitement. This wasn't just a ship, it was a repository of human genius forgotten and abandoned. Careful, the AI said suddenly. Its voice had grown clearer, sharper. Unknown power, dangerous if misused. I can handle it, Alex replied calmly. I've fixed worse than this. And besides, I want to understand you, not hurt you. Working methodically, Alex began connecting the experimental modules. The first attempt was cautious. He powered up a shield enhancer, and the ship's outer hull responded. Tiny energy fields flickered across the surface, invisible to the naked eye but measurable on his instruments. It works, Alex whispered, eyes wide. You can protect yourself. Next, he activated a propulsion module. The engines responded instantly, thrumming with a power he had never felt before. He ran calculations and adjusted the energy flow. The hum of the ship grew deeper, almost like it was purring with satisfaction. Adaptation successful, the AI said. Recognizing human intuition efficient. Alex felt a thrill he had never experienced before. The ship wasn't just a machine. It was alive in a way he could feel, responding to his every action. Together, they were more than human or ship alone. They were a team. But challenges remained. As he explored deeper, Alex encountered areas of the ship where the AI's memory was fragmented. Some corridors led to dead ends or malfunctioning systems. Panels displayed alien symbols that his human mind couldn't immediately interpret. Yet each obstacle was a puzzle, and Alex thrived on puzzles. He carefully documented everything, using both his intuition and analytical skills to repair, reroute, or bypass corrupted systems. One particularly difficult section was the main sensor array. The interface had been tampered with by alien engineers, leaving it partially offline. Alex floated in the cold, empty chamber, examining hundreds of wires and connectors. His gloved fingers worked carefully, reconnecting circuits and calibrating sensors. Hours passed and he grew tired, but the thought of unlocking the ship's full potential kept him going. Finally, the sensors flickered to life. The ship scanned the surrounding space automatically, revealing distant star systems, energy anomalies, and previously undetectable planets. Alex stared at the holographic display, awestruck. "You can see everything," he said. "That's incredible. You can explore places no one has ever reached." The AI spoke almost proudly. "Recognition, human capability superior," Alex laughed softly. "Don't get too confident, you still have a lot to learn." The next discovery was the ship's ability to adapt its shields and energy flow dynamically. Alex experimented cautiously, redirecting power to different sections of the hull and engines. Each adjustment produced immediate results. The ship could absorb energy, redistribute it, and even repair minor damages automatically. "You are extraordinary," Alex said, floating above the engineering bay. "Humans built you to last, and I think we're just getting started." As days passed, the bond between Alex and the ship grew stronger. The AI responded faster, anticipated his intentions, and even began offering suggestions. It recognized patterns in his repairs and adjustments, adapting its systems accordingly. Alex realized that this was more than mechanical repair. It was a partnership. One evening, while floating near the observation deck, Alex gazed out at the endless stars. He thought about the human colonies, scattered across the galaxy, struggling to survive. Most had forgotten the power humans once possessed, but here, in the horizon's edge, their ingenuity lived on. "You were meant for more than this," he said to the ship. "You were built to explore, to protect, to discover, to remind the galaxy what humans can do." The AI's voice softened, almost reflective. "Recognition, purpose, awakening," Alex smiled. He had awakened the ship physically and mentally, but there was still more. The ship contained experimental technology designed to push the limits of space travel and energy manipulation. Few humans had ever fully understood it, and even fewer aliens had dared to touch it. The next breakthrough came unexpectedly. While calibrating a new energy distribution system, Alex discovered hidden storage compartments containing propulsion enhancers capable of interstellar jumps far beyond current technology. He carefully connected one to the main engines, redirecting energy through the ship's adaptive cores. The engines pulsed, and the entire vessel shivered as if taking its first true breath in decades. "We're ready," Alex whispered. "We just have to test it." The AI responded with a hum that vibrated through the hull. "Test, recommended, caution advised." But Alex knew that caution didn't mean fear. He had spent weeks learning the ship, restoring its systems, and understanding its capabilities. He had become the human the ship needed, the one who could unlock its true potential. He ran final diagnostics and prepared the ship for a small test jump. The stars outside stretched and warped slightly as the engines engaged. Energy flowed smoothly through every system. The ship moved gracefully, effortlessly, as though it remembered how to fly even after decades of silence. Alex felt a surge of pride and excitement. Humans were small in the galaxy now, scattered and often dismissed, but here, through ingenuity and persistence, they had created something magnificent. "We are ready," Alex said, voice firm. "Let's show the galaxy what humans can do." The AI's voice, clear and confident now, echoed through the corridors. "Acknowledged, human pilot, trusted, activation complete." As the horizon's edge hummed with life, Alex floated in the observation deck, gazing at the stars. The ship's full potential was still a mystery, but together they had awakened something extraordinary. Humans may have been forgotten, but through his hands their legacy lived on. And somewhere deep inside the ship, the AI seemed to understand one simple truth. Humans, no matter how small, had a spark that no machine, no alien, and no force in the galaxy could ever extinguish. Alex grinned, ready for the next step. There were secrets to uncover, adventures to experience, and a galaxy that had long underestimated humans. Together, he and the horizon's edge were about to remind everyone why humans belonged among the stars. The horizon's edge moved silently through the star-strewn void, its massive engines glowing faintly with power. The hum of the ship was no longer a whisper. It was a confident, steady rhythm, like a giant awakening fully from a long sleep. Alex Rayner floated through the main corridor, checking systems, adjusting panels, and smiling at the hum of energy coursing through every line of circuitry. "You've grown fast," Alex said, speaking to the ship as he often did. "And we're only beginning." The AI, now fully awake, responded smoothly, almost proudly. "Recognition, human pilot efficiency, remarkable," Alex chuckled. He had spent weeks restoring the ship, repairing circuits, reconnecting the AI, and integrating the ship's hidden experimental modules. Now, the horizon's edge was more than functional, it was extraordinary. Its shields adapted automatically to energy flows. Its engines could traverse immense distances instantly, and its sensors mapped star systems with precision no other vessel could match. But there was more to test. Alex knew that true mastery meant pushing the ship to its limits. Exploring the unknown, he charted a course toward a nearby star cluster, one largely unexplored due to its unstable energy storms. Other pilots avoided it, fearing system malfunctions or worse. But Alex saw opportunity. The ship was built to endure, to adapt, and to discover. As they approached the cluster, the horizon's edge shifted its energy. The adaptive shields flared, absorbing and redistributing bursts of radiation from nearby stars. Alex floated near a console, his fingers flying over controls, adjusting the energy flow. The ship moved like a living being, responding instantly to his commands. Sensors highlighted planets, moons, and energy anomalies, mapping the cluster with incredible detail. Alex marveled at the precision. "You're amazing," he said, smiling. "No alien design could ever match this." The AI's voice, calm and confident, responded. "Human intuition, synergistic, optimal performance," Alex nodded. He had always believed that humans were underestimated, seen as weak and small compared to the galaxy's other species. Yet here, in a ship built by humans, controlled and understood by a human, that belief was proven wrong. Testing combat simulation, though Alex had no desire for violence, he knew the galaxy could be dangerous. The ship's unique technology included defensive capabilities far beyond simple shields. He activated a simulation mode, projecting holographic obstacles and energy flows. The ship's sensors and shields responded instantly, redirecting energy, anticipating movement, and optimizing defenses. Alex floated through the command deck, issuing instructions and making minor adjustments. The ship responded flawlessly. It was a dance of intuition and calculation, human and machine working together. Efficiency surpassing expectations, the AI noted. Alex grinned. We're a team. Humans think fast and you think faster. Together we're unstoppable. The galaxy notices. Weeks passed as Alex and the ship explored uncharted sectors, discovering new star systems, mapping energy anomalies, and sending data to distant human colonies. Rumors began to spread across the galaxy. An enormous, powerful human ship had awakened, piloted by a single human. Alien factions, corporate traders, and even old military groups took notice. Most assumed humans were gone, scattered, or too weak to matter. Yet, word of the horizon's edge spread like wildfire. Aliens watched from afar, whispering, a human alone controlling the legendary ship. Alex was aware of their curiosity, but he did not panic. The ship was his ally, and together they had already overcome the impossible, proving human ingenuity. One day, while surveying a remote system, Alex detected a cluster of rogue energy storms, unstable and dangerous. Every alien pilot had avoided this region. Most ships would have been destroyed instantly by the unpredictable energy surges. Alex smiled. Let's show them what humans can do. He adjusted the ship's adaptive shields to absorb and redistribute the storm's energy. The engines shifted, calculating optimal paths in real time. Every system worked in perfect harmony, responding to his commands instinctively. The storm battered the hull, yet the horizon's edge glided through it effortlessly. Sensors mapped hidden planets within the storm, revealing resources and anomalies no one had ever seen. Alex's heart raced with excitement. Humans were small, yes, but they were clever, adaptable, and fearless when it mattered. Incredible human creativity synergy, the AI said. Alex laughed. We're just getting started. By the time they emerged, Alex had mapped the storm, discovered 3 previously unknown planets, and collected data that no other species could have obtained. The galaxy had underestimated humans, and he intended to remind everyone why they had once been leaders among the stars. A test of strategy, the horizon's edge was powerful, but Alex knew that true mastery wasn't just about technology. It was about strategy, foresight, and creativity. Soon he received signals from a group of alien traders who had tracked the ship, curious about its sudden reappearance. They sent a warning: leave the sector or face consequences. Most humans would have fled. Most alien ships would have obeyed. But Alex had learned the ship's full capabilities. He devised a plan not to fight but to outsmart them. He opened a communication channel. I mean no harm, he said calmly. I am exploring. If you stay in your sector, you will remain safe. The aliens hesitated. They did not expect a human to speak with confidence, let alone control such a vessel with skill. When one tried to follow, Alex engaged the ship's adaptive propulsion system. The vessel moved unpredictably, using wormhole jumps and sensor tricks to evade pursuit effortlessly. The alien ships could not anticipate the horizon's edge's movement. Every maneuver highlighted human creativity, thinking outside rigid patterns, improvising in real time. Finally, the aliens gave up, sending a cautious acknowledgement. Alex chuckled. Sometimes brains are better than brawn, he said. The AI seemed to agree. Human strategy unmatched. Exploring further with the galaxy taking notice, Alex focused on the ship's intended purpose, exploration. He charted courses to sectors untouched by humans for centuries, discovering anomalies, uninhabited planets, and energy sources that had been invisible to conventional sensors. One discovery amazed him: a planet rich with rare minerals, hidden beneath thick clouds of radiation. Using the ship's adaptive shielding, Alex hovered in orbit, collecting samples and mapping the terrain. The ship recorded everything with precision, highlighting humans' ability to combine intuition, creativity, and technology in ways aliens could not replicate. This is incredible," Alex said, floating near the observation deck. "No one else could do this. Humans have never stopped thinking, never stopped exploring. That's why we survive." The AI responded almost thoughtfully. "Human ingenuity legacy confirmed," Alex smiled. It felt like a victory, not over aliens, but over the misconception that humans were weak or insignificant. The legacy continues as months passed. Alex and the Horizon's Edge became legends across sectors. Stories spread. A human mechanic had awakened a forgotten ship, using it to explore, protect, and outthink the galaxy's greatest powers. Yet Alex remained humble. He did not seek fame or dominance. His mission was simple: explore, learn, and demonstrate that human skill and creativity could achieve the impossible. One night, floating near the observation deck, Alex gazed at a distant cluster of stars. He remembered the stories his ancestors told of humans reaching for the unknown, surviving impossible odds, and leaving a mark wherever they went. "You've done it," he whispered to the ship. "You're more than a machine. You're a reminder that humans can still shape the galaxy." The AI hummed in agreement. Its systems glowed softly, reflecting the stars outside. The bond between human and ship had grown stronger than either could have imagined. Alex knew the galaxy would continue to test them. Other powers would notice, other challenges would arise. But humans had an advantage no one else had: imagination, adaptability, and determination. The Horizon's Edge was more than a vessel. It was proof that even a single human, armed with curiosity and ingenuity, could awaken legends, explore the unknown, and remind the galaxy of the brilliance humans were capable of. And as Alex prepared for the next adventure, plotting courses to uncharted systems and anomalies no one had seen in centuries, he smiled. Humans were small, yes, scattered and underestimated, but they were unstoppable when they thought, created, and dared to explore. "Let's go," he said to the ship, voice steady with excitement. "The galaxy is waiting." The AI responded with a resonant hum that vibrated through every deck. Acknowledged adventure commencing. Together, human and ship moved forward, cutting across the stars. The universe had underestimated humans once, but Alex Rayner and the Horizon's Edge were about to remind everyone that ingenuity, creativity, and courage were never bound by size or number. For the first time in decades, the Horizon's Edge was alive, awake, and unstoppable, and humanity's mark on the galaxy had just begun to shine again.